morning. Is it from Zetster's lab? Oh, it's a summery day in the middle of winter at home. And I was sitting painting and I was struggling with this face of this man. I couldn't get it young enough and I was actually frustrated and I thought, this is it, I'm now done painting. And as I was walking down the stairs, I thought, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? And then I walked past my dining room table and there was this beautiful bowl. It's part of a tea set that I inherited from my grandmother actually. But it's broken. I think this must have been the sugar bowl. And you know, I put this broken one with all the other ones deep in a cupboard because I don't use them every day. And once in a while I take out all my special thingies and I have a party, just a couple of friends, and I just use them. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I was using this one the other night and I had to wash it by hand. You cannot wash it in the dishwasher. That's actually why I don't use them every day. That's the reason. I've got a dishwasher. Oh boy, one of my most precious things. And so I don't use them every day. And as I was walking past the table, I thought, why not you put it somewhere where I can really enjoy it every day? It's broken, so why not? Why do we always have to leave things for someday? You know, today is the day, life happens now. So I got this idea, let me plant a little plant in this, put it there next to in my TV room in the sun. So yes, let's do this. I mean, it's not going to cost me anything. I've got everything I need to make something that will really bring me joy and be beautiful in my home. So I went into the garden and I got some compost. We've got a huge compost heap, but I went under a plant and I just took out a lot of wonderful compost soil, even sea sand. We live very close to the beach, so I've got the sea sand, and then stones. Because it's very dry where we live, so you struggle, so I only use indigenous plants in my garden, and then a lot of stones. So I've got my things, and then I've got this little beautiful plant from a friend a while back. It was there in that pot of mine. So I just took this out. They've just got their little roots. Absolutely no problem to replant them. So now I'm going to put a little bit of stones and sand at the bottom. Then I'm going to put my compost sand. There's no drainage in this, so it's actually a problem. But remember, this needs very, very little water. So once a week, just a few drops, and it will just be very happy. So it doesn't really need a lot of drainage. I must not water it too much. That's the whole thing. So yes, there's my sand and my compost. Just throwing it in there. I even found some cutworms, so then you know the compost is really doing well. And I'm now just putting my little plant in a little more. You can't really get the soil around the roots, so there's a little bit stones on top. It's all things that you have. Just go into your house and find something that you can use to put a little plant in that you love. And there you have it. So I've also found these little, we live very close to the beach, so I always pick up some shells. So I'm just putting a couple of shells there. And there you have it. Look how precious. And every time I see this, I'll think of my mother and her love for plants, and it will just bless me. I'm blessed. And you know, happiness is the way of life. You cannot find it. It's who you are inside. So we always think we need money and we need to go away to places and to find happiness. But that's one of the things of lockdown that really teaching me a lot. I mean, lockdown hasn't really changed my life. Really, I must admit, the only thing that's actually changed is the mask that I need to put on when I go out. But we never went out a lot. We never had lots of friends and big parties. It was just a couple of friends, having them over and going to town to the shops once or twice a week. So my life has really not changed that much. And now that we cannot even really travel or go anywhere, I once again had to realize my happiness depends solely on me, in what I am allowed to do. And another thing I found out, you know, we've always been in situations where we don't have, let's call it, freedom. I mean, no matter what your situation is. I remember when I was at university, we had to be in the dorm at 11 o'clock. You know, when you were at school, there were rules. Even when you're older, more mature, there's always things that happen that keeps you not free to do what you want. And this is just once again teaching me, find my peace and joy in this day, in this moment, with what I have been given. And this is just, I've been given so much. Even a little thing that I inherited that's broken, a little plant that a friend gave me, these little things that I pick, shells that I pick up at the beach, on the beach, so I can walk on my beach. You know, those are really your life. That is my life at this stage. It's what I am permitted to do, where I find myself. And yes, I can moan and groan and really be terrible upset with the whole worldly situation, my government situation, other people, whatever, that they put me in this situation. You know, you will always find yourself in a situation that you do not have total freedom over. Let's be honest. I mean, in your marriage, with your children, whatever situation you might find there's always kind of rules, call it that. And so it's no use wanting to escape the whole time where you find yourself. The only way to really experience heaven and abundant life now is to become still and start to see and realize what you have around you in this moment, and find your peace and joy in your situation now. It's no use trying to figure out how you're going to change it the whole time. It's not going to work. So heaven on earth to me is finding peace and joy in whatever situation you may find in. And it's really quite simple. Just find things that will bring you the joy and the peace, and do that. Drink your tea. Enjoy your tea. Enjoy listening to the birds, sitting in the sun. Feel the sun on your face. Make a little fish pond or a water feature, or even if you've got a small little place, put a little plant that you can find anywhere. And just be still in your situation and experience the peace and the joy and the love that you already have. It's in us. We're in need of absolutely nothing. The biggest lie that we ever believe is that situations can bring us happiness. No, happiness is inside of us. And we must turn within and start looking for what we need inside of us. Well, this is me. Thank you for joining me. Go and make something beautiful and share it, and just be still and know all is well. Zet from Zetster's Lab. Have a fantastic day further.